So you can type in at the bottom, or you can come up to My Applications, and there's a spire right there, and it loads up right here, okay? And we're going to create a new file, and coming down we want to make sure that this is 11.875 by 11.875. That's 11 and 7/8. Our material is 0.25. And then coming down, make sure that this is not checked. You want to make sure that this is not checked. We're going to go ahead and hit OK. Okay, and that brings us into the software proper. Okay, so I like to set up my page and get everything ready to go. I like to click on toolpaths and pin this over here, right here, and now I'm pretty much ready to go. I can drag in my DXF files. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up a document or a folder like this. You can do this two ways. You can go to File, Import Vectors, and you can go and find your files. Or what I like to do is I like to drag and drop. I've got my front wheel, okay, 1, 2, and I've got my rear wheel, 1 and 2. And if you bring them in and they're overlapped, all you have to do is highlight them, and we can use this little tool right here, and we can scoot them so they're not overlapped. Okay? The reason you want to make sure that they're not overlapped is because we are going to then use a nesting tool. Okay? So that's bringing the vectors in. Just as a reminder, you can either drag and drop them, or you can go to import vectors. Okay? All right. Next step. Next step is nesting your objects. So when you nest them, you want to come up here and you want to choose 0.25 and either 0.75 or 0.5. I'm going to start with 0.75. I'm going to say rotate to best fit. This doesn't matter because they're circles. And mirror parts, that doesn't matter either because they're circles. So I'm going to select them all, everything that's there. When it makes this dark line, that means that it's closed in the parts. We're going to hit preview, and if you see how one object goes out to the outside in another sheet? All I have to do to fix that is to come over and say 0.5 and preview, and then it puts them on the same page. Okay? When you're done, hit OK. If they still don't fit on when you change it to 0.5, your wheels are too large. Okay? And you got to go back and redesign them. All right. Next step is making our toolpaths. We're going to do 3 toolpaths. We're going to do 1 drill and 2 profile. Okay, so I'm going to hit drill. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and select. Now, if you see, I select them and see how it gets rid of the other one. I have to hold shift and then I can select all of the drill holes. Okay? We're sticking with 0.27 over here for our depth of cut because it's, the way it is. So this you only have to do, this next little step, you only have to do once. Okay? We're going to go to select. We want to make sure that this is end mill 1/4 of an inch. We're going to come down here and set this to 150. And we're going to set this, if it's not already set, to 50. Okay, and then make sure that this says 0.25. And we're going to go ahead and hit select. Boop. And that's it. We can go to calculate. It's going to tell you that you're cutting through the whole material. We're going to go ahead and hit OK. And then we're going to hit play. And it shows you the holes that you created. Okay, You can reset the preview at any time. Like if you've got a bunch of holes or you move something or it cuts it all funny or you've got to make some changes. You can preview all the toolpaths or you can preview just this one. Okay? All right, so there's our little setup. Now we need to cut, so we want to work from the inside out. So we've got our drill, then we're going to cut the inside pieces. I'm going to close this here, and I'm going to go to here. If you ever get stuck and you are here, you like let's say you are here and you want to go back to that preview, this is that preview right here. Okay? So we'll go back to here, and what I need to do now is I need to select all of these things here. Okay? Now this takes just a minute because you've got to go through and choose all of the things you want to cut. And now I'm going to go up to Profile Toolpath. Now there's a lot more to this one than the other one. We're going to go through step by step. At the top, 0.27. You want to set, you can select this, but it's already set up from last time. But this is important. This is the passes. This is the number of times it goes around while it cuts. So it cuts, drops down, cuts. We want to set this to 2 passes. And then the last thing for this step is we're going to select inside. And then we're going to come down and we're going to hit calculate. Okay? So when I hit play, it will play our little thing. Okay? We can reset. We can preview all the toolpaths. I can just play just this one. And then you can play all of them. All right? So the last thing we're going to do before we save this is we're going to go to close here and profile. Now I'm going to do this the wrong way and then I'm going to go back and fix it to show you. So I'm going to come up here. This is the same 0.27. This is, we need to change our passes back to 2. We've already got our tool set up. This time we want to go to the outside and we want to choose this, 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 and this. So we drilled the holes, we cut these, now we're going to cut the outside edge. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to go ahead and hit calculate. Now when I hit play, I want you to see once this cuts, all of these pieces are going to fall out. Okay? And what that means is they're going to hit the bit, they're going to break, they're going to cut, they're going to fall out. This thing's going to become weak. If you see this little peninsula here, this little peninsula is going to be weak. This is going to be weak. And while it's cutting, the whole thing could get weak and pop out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this profile. And I want to come down and do what's called tabs. Now, the thickness of this here is not 0.25. It is now 0.27. So this, we just need to make it a little bit less than this size or this thickness. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this 0.2. We're going to make this 0.375. And then we're going to go to edit tabs. And you want one at each lining up with the other one. Okay? We want one here lining up with that one. And if you remember, I had that peninsula here. So I'm going to put one here to hold that peninsula into place. I'm going to put another one over here. Now you do have to cut these off. And it is a little annoying to cut them and sand them. But it's better than having everything fall out on you. Okay? So I'm going to put one at the ends out here. And then you can add, you want at least 4 on the big ones and 3 on the little ones. And you can grab them and drag them so you can put them at 120 degrees if you want. You can do 4 on here. It doesn't hurt anything. In the end, you just have to sand your wheel. Okay? So I'm going to add these tabs in. Now when I hit close, and I hit calculate, and I hit play again, it doesn't put those tabs in because I have to reset the preview and then preview all the toolpaths. And there's all my little tabs. Okay, this will hold it in just fine. It is a soft material, we don't want it to fall out. Okay, and then I had one right here. You can always go back and change them and add them, but once you're done and you've saved it, that's it. Okay, so there is my shape. This is what you're going to turn in as a picture of this. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go to save. We want to check all output all visible toolpaths to one file, and then we're going to set this to, I'm going to go down, CNC Shark USB arcs inch. Okay, and then it says no visible toolpaths because I have to go boop and select them all. Now all of these should be exactly the same. Okay, and that's it. When you hit save toolpath, save it to your student drive, and then we'll be ready to put it on a USB and cut it out.